All right. So we're just coming back from seeing Superman 2025. That is a film that just has arrived, and man, it is it is quite the point that we are in time, man. Cause like, all right, we'll talk about it. He's an immigrant. You know what I mean? He's an alien. What else justification could we have for this super powered being in the planet Earth that we have known to know and all this? And nothing on this universe can surprise us anymore because we have understood everything and we know everything about everything nowadays. But where we're at, right? We've been talking about how Warner Brothers is getting their foot in the door when it comes to this 3D animation. We see the CGI, and sure, while not all of it is perfect, the ideas that come through it and the representation, the visual representation of what we're seeing in this film, I do believe is a step in the right direction, or a step further than what we are kind of like have learned to temper ourselves with. And all that really means is Akira. Live action, baby. Let's fucking go. But no, I'm super interested and excited that this is definitely one of the best Superman films I've seen. And that's not saying a lot because like I was born after the Christopher Reeve Superman, so a part of me needs to go back and watch all those like Man of Steel hopeness picture films. But when I walk out of the screening and I think about what has been portrayed, what has been laid down, just the idea of what this super powered humanoid figure can do if they were allowed humanity at a certain point. And yeah, for me, like, it always has been the idea that Superman is supposed to be the beacon of hope, like this unflinching star of radiating positivity that even if you really wanted to try, you really couldn't escape his gravitational pull of just how much of a Boy Scout this guy is. They call him the Boy Scout, and for good reason, because it's this fine balance between obsession and hope. But we do see this side of Clark Kent where he has to kind of absorb everything that is happening around him and sort of like come to terms with just what his limits are, even though it is the fact that he is Superman. And that's where the supporting cast really steps in. I really enjoyed what we got with these people. While they're not the focus of the episode or the movie or the show or whatever, they do bring a bit of like world building. We keep on talking about how important it is to make the viewer feel immersed in the presentation that we have. And what we got here is, I feel, a completed version of James Gunn and kind of what he has learned from the past 3 Guardians films, and how he's always been a type of guy that really likes a cast ensemble, but I feel like this is the first time I've seen the cast ensemble be really contained in a way that it makes this plot feel more natural. And while there's a bit of like iffies there, for the most part, I think we get a really consistent, solid, straight through story of like what is going on and who this guy is and where we're at in his current timeline and how we meet him and how we go from there. So all in all, I really enjoyed Superman. I couldn't see myself enjoying it more than I am enjoying it right now. And honestly, for the first time in like 30 years, I honestly think I understand why Batman really likes Superman. Because no matter what, that guy is able to plant a smile on your face through, because of just the sheer positivity that this Superman is providing with all his strength and all his abilities and all his leadership and his hope. He is doing his best to give the people something more to believe in. And yeah, we need that, I think. Seeing how that icon is basically fighting off against a corporation and kind of where we're at with our timeline says a couple things. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on socials to understand where humanity's at this point, but there's a lot of things being said. There's a lot of implications, shall we call it, and we're just gonna have to wait and see, man. But I will say, this film knocked it out of the park. I didn't want a gritty, dark Batman, even Batman film with Superman. Even though I love The Batman by Matt Reeves and how edgy with the Twilight guy and how dark that is, and even Dark Knight with Christopher Nolan and the angle that he took, at no point did I want Superman to be that, because that is not his MO, that is not his objective. So to see James Gunn come through and provide this nice, poppy, bright, comic booky experience really made it for me. And I'm really glad that like that there is a good head in that Warner Brothers studio still doing good stuff, right? We don't know how long that'll last. We don't know what else is coming up the timeline, but I'm excited. I'm curious, and I'm happy. I'm looking forward to see where we go from here. So, with all that being said, go watch Superman. Immigration. But until then, be the alien. Ya. Mátane.